Hello dear YouTubers, something different today. I don't know how this is going to go. Bear with me, laugh with me as we figure out how much space I haven't got to do a tarot reading. Now what I've done here is I've set out a few of the cards that I'm going to be using. What I'm going to do, just to test this to see how it works and how people like it or not, you know. I'm going to open one of these cards first of all, this little card here. These are the Oracle cards, I do believe, by, let's have a quick look. It's definitely by Patrick Gamble, and he calls them the Spirit Edition 2 Oracle cards. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open one of these cards, okay? And then I'm going to open a few angel cards. This is what your angel cards want you to know, okay? So they are like self-help cards, really, but with a spiritual link. Okay, I'm going to open an angel card for you to see what word resonates today with this little spread of cards that I'm opening. Then I'm going to have a few of these Mystic Monday's tarot, Mystic Monday's tarot cards. They are, I don't know if they're going to bring anything interesting, but they usually bring definite things. So if you're looking for an answer to something, those are the cards to use, because they're very definitive, very definite in their reply. Now I haven't put a question to this reading because I don't know if I'm going to use it or put it out on YouTube. Just going to see how it goes. And then the Untethered Soul cards are from Michael Singer and his book The Untethered Soul, and they are little statements. They're very thought rendering statements, you know, they make you think. Thought rendering, what does that even mean? It's like a buffer. Rendering is like buffering, isn't it? Because one of my favourite things to talk about on YouTube is where thought comes from, because it's a bit of a mystery. No one really knows. You can't quantify it, can you? You can't say, oh yeah, look, I hooked into the matrix and a thought appeared in my mind. That just doesn't happen, does it? We don't know where they come from. Now that's the deep one, so I think I might leave the deep one until the last thing that I do. And this is what happens, isn't it, when you get into a place of, it's like almost a meditative state when you're doing the cards. For people who want to know how to do cards, the answer to that is you have to figure it out yourself. What's the best way for you to do it? So you can play with all sorts of different cards, crystals, a pendulum. You know, there are all sorts of little. Oh, what have I done with my? Hold on a minute. I've got a little bag of crystals. That I reminded myself. Oh, look at that! Does that ever happen to these professional stone readers when they start doing the readings? The stones fall out of their bags. Look at that, 2 stones. Okay, so we're going to have a choice of 2. I'm just going to show you this little bag here. Little bag full of different colour stones. It's very, sorry, I would say it's very difficult, but it's because I haven't practiced this and I haven't done this before. So you're surrounded by lots of different types of stones, but the ones that flew out, and I'm pretty sure I threw one on the floor. I'm sorry about all these random background noises. I can cut this out. So, these 2 stones wanted to fly out. They did. And they're so pretty. There's a choice of 2. There's a lot of support in the background. That's what these means. These other stones. And you look at these stones and tell me which one you like. Which one of these stones do you feel resonates with you? Okay, so because these 2 stones have fallen out, I'm now going to do 2 of everything. And that is how spirit works. That is how the universe directs you to the way that you're going to be experiencing in your little worlds, in your little life. This is how I live my life. You know, when the universe gives me information and directs me, I listen. Now, if you listen, the answers will come. If you don't listen, you don't pay attention to things that are being given to you, what's the point of asking? Why are you asking if you don't want to hear the answers? Yeah? Okay, Okay, so if you're resonating with this little blue, this dark blue stone here, this is your angel card. Expectancy. Whoa, expectancy. That's great. That's really, really great. That is not just about having a baby or sitting in waiting. It's a reminder that if you've asked for something to come to you and then you're sitting there looking at it like, oh, it's never going to happen, it's never going to come to me, the chances are it's not going to, is it? Just a reminder to expect to happen what it is you're asking for. So this person who's chosen this dark blue stone is waiting for something to come to them. They're hoping that it's going to come to them, which is not the same vibration or feeling as that feeling of expecting it to happen. I know it's a real hard one, that, because it takes years to learn the difference between hoping, wishing, praying, wanting. Expecting is very powerful. Expecting means you know it's on its way to you and you're going to bring it into fruition. You're going to birth it. You're going to birth your idea. You're going to accept it when it comes into your reality. So when you start seeing the signs, which will be spirit guidance leading you to have conversations with the right people, it will link you up with the people you need to speak with in order to make this happen. That is going to be happening for you when you get on the feeling of expectancy. Now, this person who's chosen the light blue, and you could be the same person because you can choose both. You see, you might look at those stones and think, oh yeah, I can really see myself in that blue stone. Look at it, it's got so many patterns and pathways, and it's got light and dark, shades of dark. It's great. Faith. This is your card. This is your angel card with this stone. And faith, again, it's very similar to expectancy, isn't it? Having faith that your prayers are going to be answered. But it's not just that, is it? It's excuse me, my great big mitt under the camera. These people on YouTube who do these little readings, they do it so efficiently with their beautiful nails, and I'm sorry about that. I haven't got beautiful nails at the moment because they've been hard working. They've been out there doing the work. Faith, very similar to expectancy, except I feel it's on a deeper level. Faith. When you have faith that something is going to happen, or you have faith in your ability to get through the next phase of your little world, having that faith is a feeling that gives you security. You're secure in the knowledge that you are going to achieve your goals, you're going to get through it. That's fantastic, I love that. Now, this set of cards, which is the Patrick Gamble Oracle cards, I'm going to just choose one of these. See, I'm so sorry about the reflection. Sorry about that. I know on the YouTube people do like this, watching this shuffling business, don't they? This card that's all ropey is the signed bit, because I've got the signed version. That's what a fan I am of these cards. Okay, I'm going to choose this card that didn't want to be shuffled anymore. Ooh. Reflection did not want to be shuffled. Now, when I see reflection, it says to me that it acts as a reminder, so that when you're faced with a person who is not necessarily behaving how you would like them to behave, or they're not necessarily helping you, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing that's like what they do? What have they got about their person and their personality that's part of my personality? And then if you don't like what they've got on their personality, you can use that information and your observation to improve what you do. Now I'm going to read you the actual meaning of this word, of this card rather, sorry. What's the number on that little card? 48. 48. I'm sorry for being so fast with the cards. That's because it's my first go at this. I'm having a little play. Now, reflection. Okay, so according to this little book, and I'm going to read you the exact meaning according to the artist, okay? Because this is what he intended when he drew this picture, when he drew this painting with oils. These are the words that came forward to him. But whatever resonates with you when you look at this picture, feel free to take that from it. Okay? Look ahead, forwards. Do not look back. Embrace future. Do not look back reminds me of that phrase from that horror movie. There's always a horror movie, isn't there? Don't look back. Whatever you do, do not look back. The wolf's piercing eyes look through you and know all of you. The eyes are the gateway to the soul and show all that we are and have been before. The wolf is saying, no more reflecting upon your past. Reflect your energy towards your future. Our life is like a big invisible map that we are trying to see and make sense of. We try to learn and discover more of ourselves by retracing our own footsteps back to the early days of our existence. You will find no answers and no understanding there. Everything in life has polished you into the person you are now. So allow yourself to walk your future and embrace your pathway ahead of you. Now those are great words. It's like you're in a stepping stone, a place ready to embrace the best you that you can be and to walk forward with faith, and harmony is springing to mind. Harmony at all costs. That's what the universe is bringing you today. Okay? Now, I don't need to do 2 cards for this oracle because that card fits both of these scenarios. What a great card, because it's not dwelling on the past. It's not looking into digging up old wounds. It's just looking at the now and moving forward. Now for your angel cards, these are the Doreen Virtue Oracle cards. I'm going to have a little look at the Healing with the Angels by Doreen Virtue. I'm going to choose one card for each of these: expectancy and faith. I hope there's nobody out there expecting twins. Is that what this is? The thing is, there are so many people out there on the planet who are on very similar paths, and there are so many people out there who are on vastly different paths, and yet everyone can benefit from this expectancy, faith, knowing who you are. If you can get to this point in your life, that is success right there, because no one gets to that point in that there's nothing in the past to learn from because of it. So it's not saying don't ever look back at your past. It's not saying that you haven't already done that. It's saying now is the time to put down old historical pains. You don't need to bring them with you. Right, so let's have a little look here about angel cards. Okay. First of all, spiritual growth. Oh my goodness, again, am I really going to need 2 cards for this? Not sure that I am, because spiritual growth is everything, isn't it? We love growth. Well, most of us love growth. Some of us like physical improvements, and we think that that's growth. Like if you've improved, you've lost weight, or you've been to the gym, or you've got more fit, or you're walking more every day, or whatever it is you've done, and of your physical improvements, that is growth. Change and improvement are a form of growth. Emotional understanding, being able to stay, recognizing, learn about your inner emotional, mental control and guidance, and learning to use your mind for things that feel good. That is a form of growth. It is. Now those are the 3 areas of growth that us humans generally think of. We think of our physicality and our stuff, like our material stuff around us. We think that. We think of our emotions. We think that we can improve how we feel towards other people and how we can feel towards ourselves. And we think about our minds and improving our psychological state. But our spiritual growth, that is something which is harder to explain and understand, because it means so many different things to different people. Spiritual growth for me is when you can put all your concerns to one side, because you've already catered for your own needs. You're already in control, and you've improved yourself to a point where you can't feel any better about what you're doing, and so you're sort of at a place where you're on a plateau. Then is the time to look at your spiritual growth, which means looking at what effect you have on your outer world, on other people around you, where you're able to provide healing and light to other people. Your spiritual growth means you're learning acceptance of other people. You've learned to forgive other people. All those things, I know I dread to mention the Bible, but all those things in the Bible which are mentioned as areas to be avoided, like greed, lust, sloth, all those are 7 deadly sins. You're on your path to either eliminating them completely, because you're in this area of spiritual growth where you're starting to look at areas that you can improve and improve your behaviour and what you do. And spiritual growth feels great. Spiritual growth feels like you have plugged into a light bulb. And often as little humans, we never get to that point because we're so concerned with making sure there's baked beans in the cupboard, or we're worried about how we're going to pay our gas bill or electricity, which are legitimate material concerns. And often people who are worried about their finances and worried about where the money's coming from, they can't focus on spiritual growth or areas of creativity because the other worries are so all-consuming. So to get this card in your reading is really amazing. So whether you've got financial support in the background or not, you can still, if you really, really put your mind to it, work on spiritual growth to be able to recognise where the universe is helping you, where the universe is providing support. And it's that, isn't it? It's focusing on what's there, focusing on what you have got. We'll bring this through each day with a greater feeling of gratitude and acknowledgement than the previous day. And if you're very fortunate and you've already got everything you need and you're financially secure, spiritual growth is something which you are privileged to be able to be aware of exists. Not everyone does. I'm thinking particularly of like Russell Brand, who does his meditation. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to look at his life or start analysing what has gone on around him. And this is what happens with spiritual growth. You're either aware you're on the planet or you're not. Not everyone opens this card. Not everyone opens this doorway for themselves. And some people, it takes them decades and decades to even recognise that there is a spiritual path that you can be walking. And now I'm not sure if I need to open this other card or not. Okay, I'm going to, because I've opened it and it says Archangel Michael, I feel bad if I don't put that card out there. Because the Archangel Michael shows up often when people are in times of stress and trouble and difficulty. So I'm putting this under the faith card, and my little computer's gone off. My little screen gone off. Come on, look, screen, just mean that I'm not using you. My little screen's gone off, so I can't see what I'm doing. There we go, put it back up. So with Archangel Michael, he is the protector of the weak and the most vulnerable. Okay, so for instance, if you were having trouble with your neighbours and you couldn't move, if you're stuck living somewhere and you've got awful neighbours, there's not a lot you can do about that apart from pray for help. And if you're in that situation where you're praying for help, this is who you would want on your side. Archangel Michael. He's the most powerful angel that there is, right? And yet he's come out in this reading with all these other really powerful, information situations. So whoever you are out there that's reading this card and you're in need of help, know that it's coming, and all you've got to do is ask and then receive. And this is the trouble, us little humans, we get stuck in the ask. Think about the law of attraction and the steps of asking, believing, receiving. People get hooked up on the asking and don't ever receive. And then once you've received, you recognise what's happened, and you look back and you go, wow, that happened, how did that happen? And it will be a conversation with the person. It will be a link towards some future experience that will come about from a seemingly innocent conversation, coincidence, something will pop up. You'll notice a little advert somewhere and you'll pay attention to your hunches. And if you are in a situation where you're having really serious problems and troubles, picture yourself surrounded in white light, a white bubble of light. Picture yourself, I was going to say impervious to harm, as in nothing can touch you, no one can get to you, as long as you stay inside your white bubble. God, we're going back to COVID days, aren't we? Stay in your bubble, you'll be fine. Right, so now I'm looking at these cards and they're so lovely. I don't want to taint them with a tarot card. I really don't. Okay, but I'm going to. Because the card is the High Priestess. And I love that card, the High Priestess. I'm going to have to get rid of one of those wolves. Now, High Priestess, who are you? Can I just edge that up there so you can... I want to get the word reflection and the High Priestess in as well. Oh, faith. Are you losing faith, dear High Priestess? Are you? You've got to maintain your faith every day. Now, it can be hard. Of course it can be hard. We all know this. Sometimes are harder than others. And some days can be harder than others. They can. What number is the High Priestess? The High Priestess is number 2. Ooh. Governed by the moon. Intuition, serenity, divine, goddess. It's full moon yesterday actually, wasn't it? 16th, and yesterday was the 17th, so it's a full moon pretty much over 2 days. A mistress of the subconscious. The High Priestess asks you to listen to your inner voice. She combines serenity, inner knowing and collective wisdom to guide you toward your intuition. Trust your gut and let it lead you to the right answers. Don't force control. Instead, let situations unfold as they are meant to be. At this time, pay special attention to your dreams, as they may carry subliminal messages that can help you in your waking hours. Looking inward rather than outward can provide you with the guidance that you seek. Your imagination is ripe with creativity and flow. Free from logic and practicality, embody the divine feminine that exists inside of you to connect back to the fertile life source in all of us. Trust that your expanding intuition is guiding you to where you need to go. Okay, so how do your intuition do this? And High Priestess doesn't have to mean female. Your inner feminine can be inside the male. You know, if you're a male listening to this, you're just as likely to have strong intuition as a female. Any human being on the planet has access to a source of information which can lead you to act on instinct. And from people looking at you, they're like, well, what are you doing? But sometimes you have a hunch, you have your inner guidance propels you to take action in a certain direction, where other people look at you like as if you're crazy. Have you lost your mind? What are you doing? And there seems to be no logical explanation for it, but you know on the inside that your inner being is guiding you to this direction. Now I've shuffled the Untethered Soul cards because these cards are lovely to shuffle and they're a really nice noise they make, don't they? Awakening consciousness. And on the other side of this card, look at that, the one inside who is aware that you're always talking to yourself about yourself is always silent. It is a doorway to the depth of your being. Silent. It's in the silence that your inner being is in there asking you, go this way, come this way, follow me, here I am, I don't leave you, I'm here. This reading is asking you to try and silence. If you can silence your inner chatter in meditation, sitting peacefully every day, if you can silence the inner chatter, your inner being and who you are can grow and become stronger and you can feel more at peace with who you are. But thanks ever so much for listening, dear lovely YouTubers. Let me know what you thought of that.